So, if you're a captain and I'm a Jedi, then technically I outrank you, right?
This Ahsoka and this Ahsoka are two dramatically different characters. Intentionally, when Ahsoka was first introduced in 2008, she was immediately hated by fans, and many credited her agitating presence as the reason they never got into the Clone Wars at all. Words like annoying, disrespectful, and teeny bopper were commonplace descriptors for her, and fans thought that she was distracting, as many were bothered by the way she just assumed her place next to established characters. Furthermore, Ahsoka had a habit of giving cutesy little nicknames to already established characters, which perturbed those of us who had been following those characters longer than Ahsoka had been alive. This is the story of how Dave Filloni set out to make one of the most unlikable characters in Star Wars, with the ultimate goal of transforming her into a fan favorite, and more importantly, to make it stick.
And he talked to Tia about how Sabine was going to be hated by fans in season 1, just like Ahsoka was hated by fans when she came in.
And this was all done over the course of 4 key episodes that we're going to talk about here. All throughout season 1, Ahsoka is headstrong and brash, and she never listens to authority. And more importantly, she always seems to think that she's smarter and more skilled than previously established characters like Obi-Wan and Anakin. She was a successfully disliked character. Intentionally, she was overconfident and arrogant and disrespectful to characters that have already been established and characters that many fans felt were owed some semblance of respect from a Jedi Padawan. What made this constant stream of insubordination even worse was the way it usually resolved. Not only was Ahsoka seldom made to answer for her actions, but to the contrary, she was usually right. This was annoying because we weren't rooting for Ahsoka to be right in the first place, particularly because the attitude she had while doing it. In fact, it was very similar to the criticism that fans had about Anakin in the prequels and 2D animated feature. What made Ahsoka different was that these flaws were intentional from the start. A Star Wars animated television series was uncharted ground, after all, and the introduction of a brand new character to share the screen with already beloved existing characters would be an insurmountable task. Fans would be destined to prefer established characters to the new one, and they would be more alert to the flaws of that new character. And since making a flawless character is lazy and uninteresting, Dave Filloni purposefully laced Ahsoka with just enough annoying flaws to ensure that she was properly disliked. The genius of this decision was the fact that Filoni now controlled the reason that fans disliked his character, and he could then begin to strip away those flaws through character development. Of all the reasons to dislike Ahsoka in season 1, the one that stuck out to me was her seeming immunity to reprimand. Ahsoka seldom faces anything worse than a stern word, and even those don't usually faze her much. This constant string of unpunished disobedience was subverted and dismantled in 4 key episodes that Filoni used to transform Ahsoka.
Hey Snips, this is it. Your first command. Don't be nervous.
I wish everyone would stop saying that.
The first of these episodes was Storm over Ryloth, where Ahsoka must lead her first assault. During the first stages of the assault, the Separatist commander pulls 4 cruisers out of hyperspace. Anakin Skywalker and Admiral Yularen realize the trap and order Ahsoka to return to the Venator.
Commander, we've been caught in a trap!
You're overreacting, Admiral. I can get us through.
In the heat of the moment, Ahsoka outright refuses the order, leading to the death of her entire squadron. On top of that, the Redeemer was destroyed while waiting for Ahsoka to return, costing them a capital ship and all the lives on board.
They're too many. We can't shoot them all down.
Fighter Squadron, where are you?
Cool your jets, Admiral. We're almost there.
The mission fails, obviously, and more importantly, it shows Ahsoka feeling the remorse for this failure. The episode on its own didn't change many minds, but it was a necessary first step for what was to come. Things really started to change with Holocron Heist.
What are you doing?
Get in the ship, now!
Can't you see they're retreating?
They're about to overrun you, Ahsoka. You just can't see it. Now follow orders and get in the ship.
The episode starts with a bang, jumping right into Ahsoka arrogantly defying orders once again and arguing with Anakin and Obi-Wan. This is Ahsoka at her worst, and we weren't even 5 minutes into the episode. Everything fans hated about Ahsoka was on display and exaggerated. Worse is that, again, this defiance cost the lives of more soldiers and resources. What made the episode different was what happened next. Ahsoka is lifted up into the Republic gunship and forced to watch as the battalion she led is totally destroyed, a loss they may not have suffered if Ahsoka had listened earlier. The rest of the episode focuses on Ahsoka's consequences, and that's part of what made this episode so successful. Most audiences don't relate well with a character who always seems to get away with everything, so if you take that same character and saddle them with the consequences, suddenly the audience is aware of the realism of that character. It humanized Ahsoka, humanized her in a way that would have been impossible before. Even though I considered the episode to be the climax of her journey from hated to loved, it still doesn't bring the transformation home. Ultimately, Ahsoka's punishment in the episode is only actually a punishment because she craves adventure, and the episode takes her away from the adventure. Yet in the episode, even in the peaceful Jedi library, adventure still manages to find her. The episode was the single biggest step for Ahsoka, but the final nail in the coffin wouldn't come for another 10 episodes.
Master, I can do this. I've had riskier assignments.
But unlike Barriss, you aren't prepared for this mission.
Not to worry. My Padawan is reliable. She can lead them both through the maze.
Weapons Factory comes before that nail in the coffin and serves as a bridge between Holocron Heist and the 4th episode on our list. Weapons Factory was the next milestone for Ahsoka, putting her alongside another Padawan, Barriss Offee. Despite the fact that Barriss and Ahsoka share a kinship throughout the show, well, most of the show, the two are almost exact opposites in many ways, with Barriss demonstrating an exaggerated respect and obedience to her Jedi Master, Luminara Unduli. As a result, Barriss is supremely capable and receives the trust of her master far more easily than Ahsoka does. From a psychological perspective, this is the episode that showed Ahsoka the benefits of respect and humility, and it would set us up for the 4th episode on our list.
And if you don't slow down, you're not going to find what you're looking for. I'll come with you.
Okay, Gramps.
Lightsaber Lost is the episode that truly solidifies Ahsoka's maturity. Similar to Holocron Heist, the episode begins with Ahsoka making a mistake with consequences. Her lightsaber is stolen from her on the lower levels of Coruscant. Too afraid to face the consequences, Ahsoka hides this from Anakin and finds help from an elderly Jedi Cassian, Master Sinube. The episode is one of my favorites because Sinube's slow and calculated method is a great foil for Ahsoka's energy-filled run-and-jump personality. Sinube resembles what I'd imagine would happen if a turtle gained sapience and became a Jedi, and it aggravates Ahsoka to no end.
Hey! You're driving too slow! We need to go faster!
Patience! We'll cut them off at the train station!
Throughout this show's entire lifespan, no one is more capable of teaching Ahsoka the value of patience, a lesson that pains her deeply to learn, but one she actually does learn by the end of the episode.
Guy that moves slow, you always seem to get ahead of me.
The value of moving slowly is that one can always clearly see the way ahead.
Especially watching as Ahsoka just runs and chases the assailants while Sinube is being much more intelligent with his pursuit, using alternative means of transportation, planting trackers, and these types of things that Ahsoka could have done if she had stopped to take the time to plan. This episode was really the start of a new Ahsoka. Here, she's actually starting to listen to the wisdom of her elders, and she starts to see that her gifts do not make her totally superior, and that there is a wisdom that comes with age. Ahsoka plays out like a little sister who annoys you, but grows up to be your best friend. The sister who holds on to what you once taught and shared with her, even when you've lost your own way. It's an incredibly personal and touching narrative where the growth is profound, deep, and earned. You see, unlike Taika Waititi's Thor from Thor Ragnarok, or a little closer to home, Filoni's reinterpretation of Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars animated series, Ahsoka's change was not the result of poor reception or a changed direction. This was always intended to be her story. Her poor reception was expected, intended even. They didn't fix Ahsoka because people didn't like her. She was written to be annoying on purpose, and Dave Filloni gave her very intentional flaws so that these could be growing points for the character. And it worked. So well, in fact, that Ahsoka was able to do the absolute impossible and evoke heart-wrenching emotions from all fans in what is widely cited to be the most emotional moment of the Clone Wars, and maybe even Star Wars as a whole. Ahsoka is now a fan favorite, resulting in an outcry for more. The fact that fans are coming together in hype at the appearance of Ahsoka in future materials such as Star Wars Rebels and of course The Mandalorian is a testament to how well her character development was handled. And without those moments of growth, I think it's safe to say that the excitement we feel just wouldn't be there. Clone Wars gave Ahsoka time to breathe and to grow, and it didn't force you to like her too soon because Dave knew that wouldn't work. Instead, he sowed the seeds for a long-term development that would allow her to naturally transform into the fan favorite she is today.